Hello, this is George.
Hey, Bonnie.
We were told we have to stall for like 3 minutes because there's certain people that can't get on right away. So we're going to talk a couple seconds and try to stall for just a short time. But tonight we're going to be talking in the book of Joshua. In English it's Joshua, but in Hebrew it's Joshua. And it's pretty interesting. Of course, all the books are interesting.
Hey, bro. He's on.
Well, if you're on, then Ann should be on.
Where you at, Ann?
So we're going to start talking anyway. Adonai Sanctuary Truth Classroom. This is June 24th. And like I said, we're going to go over Yehoshua. And I called it the changing of Adonai's leaders. And what a statement. Yehoshua 1:1. My sweetie's going to read that.
After the death of Moses, the servant of Adonai, Adonai said to Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' assistant.
After the death of Moses, and she said, Adonai's servant, Adonai instructs Yehoshua not only what to do, but why. My sweetie's going to read 1 verse 2.
Moses, my servant, is dead. So now get up and cross over this Jordan, you and all the people, to the land I am giving to them, the people of Israel.
Get those people, the Israelites, and cross over the Jordan to the land I am giving them. That isn't a suggestion, people.
No.
No, he told Yehoshua what he was doing for his chosen people. Give them his land. Adonai tells Jehoshua the same thing he did to Moses in Deuteronomy 11:24.
Wherever the sole of your footsteps will be yours, your territory will extend from the desert to the Lebanon, and from the Euphrates River, to the western sea.
Ann's finally on.
I saw that.
Oh,
Hey,
my
Ann.
goodness. Wherever you put your feet will be yours. The Israelites. Same thing he told Moses. But Moses never made it to the land because he didn't obey. Read 3, please.
I am giving you every place you will step on with the sole of your foot, as I said to Moses.
Yehoshua. Now where is that land? Cross the Jordan, and then, read 4, please.
All the land from the desert and the Lebanon to the great river, the Euphrates River, all the land of the Hittite, and on to the great sea in the west will be your territory.
From the Sinai Desert to the Euphrates River, all the land of Hittite. I spent hours trying to find Hittite on the maps in every Bible we have. Then it all became so clear. In today's names, the countries according to Adonai, God, Adonai's land for himself that he himself gave to Israel, all the land from the Sinai Desert up to Lebanon, to the great river, the Euphrates River, from that river west, which would include Turkey. In Scripture, where Turkey is located was called the land of Hittite. English, they call it the Hittites. And on to the great sea. What is that telling us? Even if the countries want to disregard the Hebrews' right to Adonai's land, here is what we found out by our studies. You ready? From the Sinai Desert north, some of what now is called Jordan, a part of Saudi Arabia, all of Lebanon, a huge part of Syria, up to the Euphrates River, follow it north to the area known as now as Turkey, which we said before, which is Hittite. And it says all of that land is Adonai's land that he gave Israel. Now, what are we trying to get to? Adonai's truth, that's what. Not man's, or what we try to get to. Not man, or what any country knows, or is known as now. If any country is on Adonai's land, the land belongs to Adonai, not man. To the ones living on Adonai's land, here is a statement: you're on a portion of his own ground. Where you stand, build your house, have your farms, tend your flocks. You are on Adonai's own ground, his land, which by Scripture he gave to the Hebrews, the Jews, his own chosen people. In reality, it doesn't matter what a leader says or a band of countries say or what the Jews do. That portion of land belongs to Adonai, and he gave it to what we said before, the Hebrews, as temporary residents. When time comes, Adonai will give it to Yeshua, his son. And the ones who believe in Yeshua will end up with that land again. How? Here's a statement that we don't know. Could be a world war like no other, wiping out all of humankind except the ones Adonai saved because of their faith in only Adonai and Yeshua, his son. Start over with the ones who believe. My sweetie's going to go to Matanyahu, or Matthew, and read 7:21 through 23.
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who do what my Father in heaven wants. On that day many will say to me, Lord, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we expel demons in your name? Didn't we perform many miracles in your name? Then I will tell them to their faces, I never knew you. Get away from me, you workers of lawlessness.
What is Matanyahu 7:21 through 23 really stating? Does Adonai start over with the few who don't drown in his murky water? Drown in the murky water of man? Or turn to a made-up falsification of Scripture? Does he start all over this time with Yeshua and those who believe in Yeshua? Or this earth will become numb because of their unbelief in Yeshua and Adonai. People, you are now escorting Adonai out, and your own selfishness in when you reject Adonai and his truth. That's a good statement. Now, Ann put it in there, it's right here, why are we fighting? I'm not fighting.
What?
The Hebrews are fighting. But we're not fighting. In reality, nobody can fathom the hate, the destruction, the heat that will cause everything to disappear from Adonai's sight, as Scripture states, because of your lack of faith in Yeshua, his Son. Because of that one act of disobedience by humankind, Adonai will not allow you through his door into his land with his Son. So don't cry, point fingers, complain, and don't try to turn away, because your destruction is imminent. I guess that's the right word. You can't hide. Yeshua is either your Messiah or your enemy. When you turn your back, you run from him to a number of imitations. They are your messiahs. They and you open your arms to eternal damnation for you and yours. That's a strong statement, really. Think about this next reading. Think carefully about this next reading. How powerful the Hebrews had become with Adonai if we don't let Moses
A chance to you then, if you're not knowing them, not knowing him.
be careful about think carefully about this next reading. How powerful the Hebrews had become with Adonai, yet we will find how vulnerable they are when they turn away from him, like we haven't seen it in the past. In the first 5 books, the Torah, do it back and forth, back and forth. There's going to be more. Nothing has changed, because the world has turned away from him. Oh, there are billions who say they follow. Yes, they follow the imitation, and believing that your falsification is just good enough. Isn't that what those so-called pretend Christians are stating? Yet point fingers at the Hebrews, who should have shown them what not to do if they'd have studied Scripture at all. But like the Hebrews, you turn your back to the truth when you worship a made-up imitation Messiah. Yehoshua 1:5, please.
No one will be able to withstand you as long as you live. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will neither fail you nor abandon you.
I'm going to comment on what Tom's been writing, because there's a couple statements that are pretty decent. Adonai won't fail or abandon. He won't walk away. Only you do and have done that. Some are content with the many, yes, billions without Adonai. Most people really until the light goes on, don't even understand who Adonai was. And like I said, yes, billions without Adonai, following a man-made religion for a real, eternal damnation. Oh, that can't be. Because God is a God of love now. He is love when you stand with Adonai. But like we learned, well, my sweetie's going to read Numbers 12, verse 9.
The anger of Adonai flared up against them, and he left.
Adonai has anger when you don't follow him and his Torah. We just went through the first 5 books of the Bible, which is the Torah. People, grow up. Follow Adonai's truth. Stop trying to pull him. Now, this is a good statement. Stop trying to pull him down to your level, which is only a falsification of his truth. And in all reality, that's probably one of the scariest statements we're going to read tonight. Stop trying to pull Adonai, him, down to your level, which is only a falsification of his truth. When you follow that fake Messiah, when you don't know what you're doing. What a pep rally in this next verses. My sweetie's going to read Joshua 1, 6 through 9.
Be strong, be bold, for you will cause this people to inherit the land I swore to their fathers I would give them. Only be strong and very bold in taking care to follow all the Torah, which Moses my servant ordered you to follow. Do not turn from it either to the right or to the left. Then you will succeed wherever you go. Yes, keep this book of the Torah on your lips, and meditate on it day and night, so that you will take care to act according to everything written in it. Then your undertaking will prosper, and you will succeed. Haven't I ordered you? Be strong, be bold. So don't be afraid or downhearted, because Adonai your God is with you wherever you go.
We just read not too many minutes ago about the truth is really the Torah. Okay. What my sweetie just read. Be strong, be bold. Don't be afraid. Adonai will be with you. But
Let's read his comment.
if you follow the Torah, we just stated that. By the way, the Torah is really the teachings of how to live by. The false translations of it into the word law, people, that is a misjudgment of truth. When any person sees the word law where Adonai spoke to Moses or anyone of and about the Torah, that is a lie from the worldly religions of your society. Not by Adonai. That statement is so true, but repeated by the world religions so seldom, if ever. People, be bold, be strong for Adonai. My sweetie's going to read 10 and 11 now.
Joshua instructed the officials of the people to go through the camp and order the people, prepare provisions, because in 3 days you will cross this Jordan to go in and take possession of the land Adonai your God is giving you.
He said, prepare the people. That's what Adonai is telling people and us today. Prepare the people for what is going to happen. What an honor that is. To try to get society prepared for Yeshua's coming. We don't believe Moses was perfect, but we read that he was called. We understand that he was a person who obeyed Adonai. My little comment is, well, most of the time. The one time he didn't, is why he didn't go to the promised land. He went out of his way to protect his people until they would follow any false, imitational, made-up God. How can we get that to people? If you follow a Messiah that was just made up by Jerome, a Catholic priest, that's a made-up name. And somebody told me this morning that they saw a sticker on a car. And he says it dawned on him that he never heard about Adonai before, or in any church he's ever been in. Back to the writing. People, look around you. What's changed? They all have false, imitational, made-up gods. There are churches who use government but usher Yeshua and Adonai out of the building. They won't even say either name. We can hear you pretend so-called Christian, you know, those name it and claim it, those bowing down, even kissing the hand of man because of his title. Yes, even you, God is only love, brainwashers. Take a deep breath. Now go look at a mirror. Do you see a person full of truth or pretend truth? Do you see a person who still uses a hope that some priest, rabbi, teacher, church, denomination, religion, or maybe your pope, one day they will tell you with a hint of truth? Yet how often do they tell you to really do a studying just to find truth, but it's okay to listen to them? They don't put it in those terms, but that's what they're saying. Think about that. Rushing to the synagogue or church, somewhere you think it will help you. Now, in our opinion, the true Hebrews are still his chosen. Yet again, the cycle of turning their back to Adonai and not following the true Messiah, Yeshua, is doing the same kind of walking away from Adonai that they have repeated, well, for a few thousand years. The question for us at this time is, why are we trying to get individuals to study at all? To learn, to walk towards Adonai and Yeshua. Most of you were comfortable, and maybe some of you that still are comfortable, in whatever you followed, believed in, bowed down to. Now to us, that same explanation would have been for the Hebrews or the Jews who were in Egypt. They too followed a government-run society. And when they got their freedom, they complained and wanted to go back. You know, when a government runs a society, that is what is called communism. Any country run by the government, no matter what they call themselves, is a communist-run society. We shouldn't stand by and let a governmental brainwashing put their wedge between Adonai and man. Yet we have seen that very thing happen to most religious people in their organization.
Here to see what he last thing he wrote.
Yeshua doesn't get.
Likes, clicks, and donations. When you're talking about
That's cute. I have to read what Tom said. Yeshua doesn't get likes, clicks, or donations. My sweetie's going to read 10 and 11 again, please.
Joshua instructed the officials of the people to go through the camp and order the people. Prepare provisions, because in 3 days you will cross this Jordan to go in and take possession of the land Adonai your God is giving you.
I want to put a little bit of a slant on this. It's time to cross over, take possession of the studies to find truth. That just may be the land Adonai is giving you to take charge of and lead people back to him and his son Yeshua, if you study for truth, not the brainwashing by society and your so-called religions. To hunt for and find Adonai's truth. Adonai is using the same message today as he did back then. People, prepare to take the possession. Prepare to take the possession of his true word. Cross over to be on his land. That truth just might be your promised land. Have you ever thought about that? His truth just might be your promised land. That's an interesting concept. And it states that in there. My sweetie's going to read 12 through 15.
To the Reubenites, the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said, remember what Moses, the servant of Adonai, ordered you. Adonai your God has let you rest and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your livestock will stay in the land Moses gave you on the east side of the Jordan. But you are to cross over armed as a fighting force ahead of your brothers to help them, until Adonai allows your brothers to rest, as he has allowed you. And they too have taken possession of the land Adonai your God is giving you. At that point you will return to the land which is yours and possess it. The land Moses, yours, the servant of Adonai, gave you in, I don't know what that word is.
Oh, I got it.
Every
Yarden.
to the east,
Yarden.
toward the sunrise.
Did you catch that? Reubenites, the Gadai or Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh were well rested. That's what your 12 already said, right? Read 13 then.
Remember what Moses, the servant of Adonai, ordered you. Adonai, your God, let you rest and will give you this land.
Adonai allowed you to rest on the land that he gave you. You rested for a while east of the Jordan, which is today east portion of the area known as Jordan. It says towards the sunrise. Now, if you really think about that, that's towards the east. That is what Yer, or Ever Yardin mean. Towards the sunrise. One more important thing. Read 14 again, please.
I gotta find it. Here's 15. Your wives, your little ones, and your livestock will stay in the land Moses gave you on the east side of the Jordan. But you are to cross over armed as a fighting force ahead of your brothers to help them.
Your fighting men will be ahead of your brothers. Then 15 tells you why. Read 15, please.
Till Adonai allows your brothers to rest, as he has allowed you, and they too have taken possession of the land Adonai your God is giving them. At that point you will return to the land which is yours and possess it. The land Moses, the servant of Adonai, gave you in that place, to the east, toward the sunrise.
Until Adonai also gives your brothers rest, is what she read. You must lead the charge. You've had your rest. Now you can go back to your families and farm the land that Adonai is giving you. Back to the Iver HaYarden, towards the sun. That is a great time to remember the area that Adonai pointed out to you, so you understood or understand his truth about his land, not ours. When Joshua goes back from Adonai to the leaders, or his leaders, my sweetie's going to read 16 through 18.
They answered Joshua, "We will do everything you have ordered us to do, and we will go wherever you send us. Just as we listened to everything Moses said, so will we listen to you. Only may Adonai, your God, be with you as he was with Moses. If anyone rebels against your order and doesn't heed what you say in every detail of your order, he will be put to death. Just be strong, be bold."
Interesting. We read in the Torah how many times that they rebelled and complained about Moses, and here it says, "We will obey you like we did Moses." You think Yehoshua was going, "Well, I hope so, a little better." Let Adonai be with you like he was with Moses, and we will even put to death anyone who disobeys your rulings from Adonai. Yehoshua, be courageous, be strong, and bold with your rulings. See, you are now our leader, and you came by the command of what Adonai gave you. We will see how long that very strong statement lasts. The next great testimony is in section or chapter 2 of Yehoshua. The truth is so clear, yet so hidden by man-made up religions. Well, all we can say is, we hope you see you next week for chapter 2. Now, Tom put up some ratings here. Some of the other ones said hi, but they didn't comment too much. Let me see. Okay, Tom says, if he didn't let Moses in the promised land, and she just moved it a whole bunch.
Look, right here.
Ann said, why are we fighting? We're not fighting. The Hebrews are fighting for their land. And Tom says, if he didn't let Moses into the promised land, what chance do you have for not even knowing him? Way to go. That's a statement and a half, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Who can get there if you don't use Yeshua, you don't know Adonai? Who can get you there? A priest? The one you like at church? How about the Pope? Not a one of them can get you there. And Tom says,
right here.
She's moving it. Are we done?
I don't know. Right here.
The problem is they don't. You moved it again. She has the touchy finger. The problem is they don't know what they are living, that they are living a lie. You know, that is so true. The problem is they don't know they're living a lie. How many priests have ever told you that they've been lying about the Messiah's name? That they have never told you about what Adonai, and that's his real name. They all go by that made-up Catholic name. So what is that saying? They're living a lie, and they don't tell you about it. Because if they go in front of the church and say, well, I've been lying to you for 20 years, how many people would come back next week? Good point, Tom. That didn't that he light like 200 people on
Remember
fire?
we talked about Adonai being mad?
Yeah. Okay, and then Tom says Yeshua doesn't get clicks and donate. That's the cute one that we read. His truth is the only thing that will lead you to His promised land. You know that statement right there is another good one. His truth is what we've been trying to get people to understand. We brought out a number of times tonight, but His truth is the only thing that will get you to His promised land. Mm-hmm. And your promised land might be the truth in His Word. Because if you have His truth and you follow Adonai and Yeshua and you knock on His door, that's the good part. Mm-hmm. Then you might get in His door. If you don't know either one of those people, I don't care how many priests tell you you're going to heaven. I don't care how many priests tell you you're forgiven and all this other stuff. I'll tell you one thing. Adonai hears your prayer when you pray and may answer some of your prayers. But answering your prayers and you getting to heaven is not, they don't connect. The only way to heaven is to get on Yeshua's road, that narrow road, get to that little gate and knock on Adonai's door, and maybe He opens the door for you. If He doesn't, you don't make it in His door. And it all starts with truth in the Scriptures. If you don't have truth, then what are you reading? A lot of people going to churches and, oh, their priest said this and that, and they're saved, and you're forgiven and all this kind of stuff, and you have that little insurance card like George used to say all the time.
Fire insurance.
But
Oh, who is this?
I don't think Tom put this out, but it says Tom was chatty this evening, laugh out loud. And Tom actually wrote, damnation is the land you're promised to if you don't know Him, Adonai. He wrote Him, but it's Adonai. That's a good statement. Damnation is the land you are promised to if you don't know Adonai. Interesting statement, Tom. Interesting and true. It's really interesting how...
Kind of like one we heard earlier today.
Yeah, Tom wrote... Read what he wrote. He texts Mom.
I heard this earlier. He said, ignorance is bliss until you realize what that means for your eternity. That is so true.
Ignorant is bliss until you
realize what that means for your eternity.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people...
You are a promised land, one way or another. That's what's left.
A person's ignorance may make you happy. Your ignorance and your priest's ignorance, whatever you want to call your priest, yours and their ignorance may make you happy, and that may be your promised land. It's also to your damnation if it's not true. Well, people, we hope it's hit you and you understand. Pretending to be a follower of Adonai and Yeshua while still worshiping the J word and worshiping man-made religion instead of Adonai, like Tom says, get you a promised land, and that is your promised land, the damnation of everything. But it won't get you heaven. It won't get you to Adonai. It's up to you. You have to do it. You don't,
And
we can't do anything for you.
Y'all can be just as chatty as you like.
Yeah.
We like the comments.
Yeah, we even try to put them on when we see them, but some of them we have to wait till the end because they're so interesting, on point, online, and it lets us actually know that you're really getting the point and not just going with the flow. You have a great week. Maybe we'll see you next week. We'll be here. Hopefully you are. Bye.